Rasmus Hojlund has impressed the entire Manchester United fraternity. The entire faithful of Manchester United is excited by this young man who made his debut against Arsenal. Vamos, Signora! Let's go, senior. Those were the statements made by Casemiro after grabbing the neck of Hojlund in that loss to Arsenal over the weekend, telling him, guys, that's good, bring on the energy. This is what we lacked in Manchester United, and we're seeing it in you. Imagine Casemiro had never watched Rasmus Hojlund play. It's not a surprising thing, probably. Not so many of us had watched Rasmus Hojlund play at Atalanta, but the manager, the technical team had followed this boy for years before signing him for Manchester United, and they trusted him to be the one to come and solve that problem of goals at United. Host Sport, subscribe. My name is Webb. It's a morning and an exciting one. The international break is on. A couple of Manchester United players will be in action, including Rasmus Hojlund himself, playing for his Danish national team. He's a top scorer in the ongoing qualifiers, so obviously he's an important player for Denmark, and we've got, of course, several others who will be in action over the course of this international break. So many of our players, of course, Bruno for Portugal, Casemiro for Brazil. Unfortunately, Anthony was dropped from the Brazilian squad, but it shows you that our players are important, are of importance. They should be for club and country. But let's talk the big man in the house, the new baby, our beloved Rasmus Hojlund, shirt number 11 now. In that debut that he made against Arsenal, he came on and put on some brilliant runs. I'll tell you, whatever step that and move that Hojlund made, for me, was impeccable. The direct run into the goal, the way he was pouring his body against the solid Arsenal backline that has got William Saliba and Gabriel. These are huge guys, these are giants, but boy, the boy did bully them. They must have been going, goodness, who is this 20-year-old boy? He puts his back on you like this and you can't touch him, you can't move him a muscle. That is exactly what United was lacking, a beast of a striker, a little bit like Wayne Rooney in his prime. This is the kind of striker you want, and the fact that he's left-footed gives him a different dimension. No wonder Casemiro, after in that corner, remember United was having a corner and Casemiro was seen grabbing him by the collar and say, like a beast. The young boy of 20 could have, shaken and say, what is this man? The legend telling me. I actually for a moment thought he was going to give him a slap. I don't know. I mean, but that is the character of a guy who likes to win. Casemiro is quite a motivator. He's such a motivator, a beast of a player. And exactly, that's the South American Brazilian character you expect from a five-time Champions League winner. That is a player like that, to motivate a young 20-year-old making his debut. I thought it was impressive. I thought Hojlund, I think, held himself together. He was confident. Whatever he did on and off the ball, for me, was right. The way he was trying to his runs, trying to ensure he's not offside. Man, brilliant player. He's a smart player, by the way. You can easily tell how smart Rasmus Hojlund is. No wonder Casemiro, a Brazilian who has seen some of the best strikers and players in the world, played alongside them, was impressed by this youngster, saying, "Vamos, vamos." Vamos, that's Spanish, meaning let's go, charging him forward. And that's what a hot striker needs, someone to charge him forward to keep getting the goals. I do hope he returns from that international break fully fit. That's the prayer we should have, because trust me, when he bounces back, it will be now flight of take off, as we do get banging in the goals like it's supposed to be, isn't it? Manchester United Hot Spot, subscribe on this Thursday morning. A lot of us to a lot of news for us to follow. Now, still, of course, talking Manchester United, Sofian Amrabat, he's impressed, he's happy, he's excited at the fact that he is the first Moroccan footballer to play for Manchester United, and he's impressed by this, and he's red both for club and country. Remember, Morocco also do put on red. That is an impressive thing. So his heart is as red as his blood and shirt. So it's obviously a good thing to see. Just as I updated that Manchester United have delightedly signed a youngster. They have signed Japan international Hinata Miyazawa on a permanent deal. This is a new signing made by Manchester United. He's He's a midfielder who has joined from her Adidas Golden Boot win at this summer's FIFA Women's World Cup, where Hinata scored. Okay, it's a lady. I've signed a lady. I beg your pardon. The name looked like that for a gentleman, but this is a new update there coming through from Manchester United. The Manchester United women team is also trying to strengthen, and these days it's not good for us to talk only about the men's team as if there is no women's team. So the women's team has also made some signings as well. They have signed a Japanese, which is impressive stuff there for Manchester United. And yeah, we hope these ladies, don't they look so beautiful in this, United kit? Impressive stuff there. But yeah, so Sofian Amrabat is among those who are playing on international duty, and he's certainly an important player, like I said, for Morocco. Onana as well did accept now to return to Cameroon, and of course for certain selfish United supporters won't be happy about that. They will be feeling, what if anything happens to him? Actually, Baindi is a brilliant shot stopper. In case you didn't know, he's a brilliant shot stopper. We've got an able deputy for Andre Onana. So, and I'm not saying Onana is going to get injured for Cameroon, but he's back, and I've seen people worried and saying, oh my goodness, he's going to go, and what could happen when he comes back and stuff. But no, I think they made truce with his manager at the national team, Rigobert Song. He understood how he plays. They fell out in that World Cup in Qatar because apparently Onana said, I'm not playing that one-route football. I'm a ball-playing goalkeeper, whereas his boss was telling him, his manager was telling him, don't pass the ball around like that. And there was a difference in style and an agreement, and that's why he quit. He was chased out of the camp, and he chose to retire from international football, only for him to think twice about it overnight and say, okay, you know what, I'm coming back. I'm only 29, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, nominated for the Ballon d'Or. I will be back in my national stripes and represent my national team. So that's why Onana is back. So we expect him to be playing for Cameroon. I think they're playing Benin in this international break. But yeah, so that's pretty much like it with Onana. But several of our players will be in action, and I do hope, guys, you do take time to watch Rasmus Hojlund and see what he does with Denmark. He's obviously not Denmark's all-time best player, but we know for a fact that Denmark has produced some of the best strikers we've seen in the world. I think they had a Ballon d'Or win as well. In Devo Suka, I think he won the Ballon d'Or. So it shows you that this boy could have something in him. So that's why you've got to follow him. They will be playing against San Marino. That will be tonight at 9:45 p.m. So follow that game and watch Rasmus Hojlund. They also have a game against Finland, and this is a team he scored, I think, his first hat-trick against. That was against Finland. That's Rasmus Hojlund. So yeah, I expect him to score. By the way, I expect him to score in both, if not one of those games. But I expect him to score in this international break, and he gets the pace, the impetus to come and keep scoring more for Manchester United. Rasmus Hojlund, an impressive player who has excited Casemiro and the entire Manchester United faithful. All United supporters I know are impressed by Hojlund. Now, there is trouble, though, for one of our own. I've seen a meme going around this morning showing Manchester United players in prison attire, in their prison fatigue, saying this meme was saying that apparently this is Manchester United's squad at the start of next season, that all of them will be inmates. And I'm thinking that's quite mean. But yeah, it is what it is. I think you're not guilty until proven so. So we do know, and we do know for a fact that Anthony Dos Santos is not guilty, and that means he's still our player. So let's support him as our player, as we do again. For those of you who want to see Jadon Sancho in, as you do hope that Jadon Sancho doesn't fall out deep with the manager Eric Ten Hag, so that he tries to I think come in there in the event that Anthony, because it has not been confirmed whether Anthony is going to be dropped from the squad, but it looks like the most likely thing to happen. But if that happened, then that's the chance for Jadon Sancho and Peristri, by the way, to come in out there and man that right flank. Don't you be surprised if if Ten Hag goes for Garnacho and Peristri ahead of Jadon Sancho because of what has been going on between the two. So yeah, it's a bit tricky like that. It's a bit a bit of a tricky situation like that. But yeah, Manchester United is I think in control of this situation. The mini statement they shared showed you that they are so detailed in it. They are, I think, trying to take every bit of it serious and see what comes out of it. But we hope it's not as bad as it was for Mason Greenwood. I wouldn't wish that for Anthony. I mean, he's just a 23-year-old. You don't want his career to go as well, just like Greenwood's career was almost gone at only 21. It's sad. It's very sad to see such things happening. But that's what happens. I mean, that's where we are right now. I'm looking at stats, guys, and I don't know whether you guys know that Bruno Fernandes is a bit. I don't know whether he gets the flowers he deserves as a United player. I've been looking at his stats this morning since he joined Manchester United in 2020 rather, in January. Bruno Fernandes has made 189 appearances. His first being against Wolverhampton, and he has scored 65 goals and assisted 55 times for Manchester United, meaning those are 120 goal contributions in 189 games. And you don't think that's impressive? Can I take it back for you? Bruno Fernandes, since joining Manchester United in January 2020, 3 years ago, he has played 189 games, scored 65 goals, assisted 55. That's a total of 120 goal contributions in 189 games. Guys, this boy is underrated. His stats are insane. And I've had a lot of comparisons between him and Martin Odegaard. And Odegaard is a brilliant player to see. He's interesting. He's exciting to watch. But I mean, the stats don't lie in football, do they? Bruno Fernandes' stats are insane, to be honest. In all fairness, whichever way you look at it, his stats are insane, and it shows you how important he is. And no wonder many people feel he has been the most important signing for Manchester United post Sir Alex Ferguson. And you can debate that, go back and forth about it, but it's an argument that would hold water. It's huge. For Marcus Rashford, in all competitions against the Big Six, Marcus Rashford has scored 28 goals, 6 goals against Arsenal. He scored that consolation for us. It should have been a leading goal. It was a leading goal when he scored it, but turned out to be a consolation after the final minutes. 6 goals against Arsenal, 6 goals against Chelsea, 6 goals against Liverpool, 5 goals against Man City, and 5 goals against Spurs. Big game player, you would say, but he's not nominated for the Ballon d'Or, by the way. And I'm seeing certain people not happy about that, and I'm thinking, okay, did he have to be nominated again for the Ballon d'Or? Why? Because of his 30 goals across all competitions that season? I don't think so, to be honest. I don't think so. I don't think he deserved to be there. Yeah. So it shows you how impressive. There are quite a number of impressive, stats I've been looking at this morning. And I mean, when you look at these stats, they give you an appreciation of some of our players that not so many of us have been appreciating. And for me, I think it's important because, I mean, for Rashford, we know he's a big game player. He will punish the big teams, and that's an interesting thing for a player to be able to punish big teams almost consistently, yet they struggle against the smaller clubs. You wonder exactly what the problem is, but the reality is Marcus Rashford has proved to be an important player for Manchester United, because at times we need our big players to come out in the big games. A few times they don't, and he's one of those who have been consistently turning up. But for Bruno Fernandes, I think he's extremely underrated, and it's a bit sad. He's among, I think, the best players in the Premier League. In the recent seasons, he's been there. Even when United was terrible, he was one of those who were putting in a shift there. And for me, that is something that I found so impressive. But yeah, that's where we are. The big story for today was Rasmus Hojlund. And what he was told by Casemiro, motivation, but also that was a sign that indeed this player will be a hit. not a miss. Out of 10, Hojlund, his debut, I would give him a cool 7 without fear. And he didn't score, he didn't assist, but I'll give him a cool 7 because of how busy he was in the few minutes he was on the pitch. You can give me your rating of him as we do wait to watch him play against San Marino, Denmark, against San Marino tonight in his native Denmark. An important game that we certainly don't want to miss as the Manchester United faithful. Hotspot, subscribe. My name is Web, guys. I will be catching you in a bit later.